This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the National League playoffs, the Summer 70-73 Carryover League. We are in the Wildcard round again. We saw the Dodgers advance against expansion team to join the Final Four of the National League. We have this Wildcard series between the Astros and Braves. And I tell you something, folks. The team who wins this series will be on a roll. And coming into this, let's talk about the Astros first. They started the year terribly. April and May they were the worst team in baseball. Then they came on strong before the All-Star break. They wiped out the Padres. They wiped out the Giants. Then they played the Dodgers, who had the best record in the National League at one point. They beat them 4 out of 5. Then in the postseason tournament, they played the Dodgers again and beat them 4 out of 7. After that, they wiped out the Florida Marlins. After that, they wiped out the Pittsburgh Pirates, who of course were the 1971 World Champs. This Astro team is on a roll, and everybody is taking notice of this, most notably the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets. Now, the tale of the Braves is a little different. They started hot, actually. They were a hot team to begin the year in April and May. And then, before the All-Star break, they were playing the Marlins. They were up 3-0 against the Marlins. They dropped 4 straight. Up 3-0, losers of 4 in a row. Shocked, embarrassed, humbled. And then they followed it up by playing the Mets, and they lost 4 out of 5 to the Mets. And the Braves suddenly saw themselves as a very ordinary team, losing 8 out of 9. They've righted the ship in the postseason tournament. They won 4 out of 5 against the Phillies. They knocked out a San Francisco Giant team who went to the League Championship Series the last 2 years, 3-1. They fought a very tough St. Louis Cardinal team led by Bob Gibson and Joe Torre and Lou Brock. Beat them in a rubber match 2-1. They beat Bob Gibson 1-0. At least Phil Negro did. He beat Bob Gibson 1-0 in that game 3. So what we know is the Reds and the Mets, who have the buys, they're saying, "Give us the Dodgers. We'll take the Dodgers." The Dodgers had cooled off, and they're sort of a team that hits a lot of singles and puts 14 men on base and scores 3 times type of team. And they're like, "Give us the Dodgers. We don't want to play these guys." If the Astros, as a number 3 seed, win this series, they would play Cincinnati. The Braves, as a number 6 seed, if they win this series, they'd play the New York Mets. And the Dodgers would be playing the other team. So, who is hotter? Who is hot? Who's going to stay hot? Let's take a look at Game 1 in Houston. Pat Jarvis, kind of up and down year for the Braves, against Larry Dierker, coming on strong after a difficult start, pitching like it's 1969 with a 71 card of his. Boy, if they'd kept the Cy Young balloting open a little bit longer, Dierker would have thrown his hat in there. He's ripped off like 6 or 7 wins. He's got 10 wins now. I think he's got more wins than Don Sutton, who won the Cy Young. Anyway, this is a 3-1 victory for Houston. As the Brave bats go cold, Hank Aaron gets injured in the 4th inning. So they lose their MVP, Hank Aaron, to an injury for half the game. A solo homer by Dennis Menke in the 1st. RBI single by Garr in the 5th. It's 1-1, and really, Pat Jarvis is holding these Braves up against Dierker. Bottom of the 8th, an out, a walk, and out. And then a rare error on a catcher. Earl Williams is an E9 catcher. He makes an error, and then Cesar Cedeno has had a really bad year, unfortunately. But he gets a 2-run double here. And the Astros win 3-1 in a game where the offenses are trying to find their footing. So, do the Braves predictably even this series up with a road win in Game 2? Or do the Astros continue to just blast the entire National League? Game 2, and you're going to see an unfortunate situation for Atlanta where Tom Kelly is the number 4 starter for the Braves against Jack Billingham, the number 2 starter for the Astros. If you're not named Phil Negro, you're probably not pitching well for Atlanta. So Phil Negro and then 7 other guys. This gets ugly quick and fast and in a hurry. Tom Kelly out after 3 1/3. Don Eddy 2 2/3. Mike McQueen a couple innings. Doesn't matter who's throwing. First of all, let me give you the hits. Atlanta had 14 hits in the game. Houston had his 14 hits in the game. Each team with 14 hits. Final score, Houston 16, Atlanta 3. How do you lose by 13 runs if you have the same number of hits as your opponent? Well, the answer is Houston took a walk all day. They had 12 walks. You know, they have Joe Morgan, Dennis Menke, Bob Watson, you know, Cedeno, Jim Wynn, the toy cannon, you know, Cedeno, Jose Cruz. The National League is now taking notice. We talked about Atlanta with this Frankenstein offense of power and homers, but Houston is a formidable team that the Reds and the Mets need to be a little scared of right now. They're not doing it with a tremendous amount of home runs, but they get on base all the time. They've got good defense, good starting pitching, and a decent bullpen, something that Atlanta does not have. And so we've seen the distance of the two teams. And let's face it, you're going to get a red-hot team regardless who wins the series. If the Braves suddenly get hot and rip off 3 straight wins, they'd be dangerous playing the Mets. And if the Astros finish this thing off with a road win in Atlanta, you have to think the Cincinnati Reds would be a little nervous playing the Astros. So Game 3 in Atlanta, it does bode well for the Braves. It'll be Ken Forsch, the number 4 starter for the Astros. 71, he was 8-8 with a 2.54 ERA, 188 innings, very good pitcher. Against Phil Negro, the shining light of the Braves. Last time we saw Phil, he beat Bob Gibson 1-0 in Game 3. Unfortunately, though, not much time off between the two series, and this is his first appearance, and his team is already in a deep hole. Phil Negro, 16-12, 306 in 1972. He has to start digging his team out of the hole. In Atlanta, home cooking, we're thinking the team with home field is going to dominate. At least Houston has done it, and we think the Braves are going to do the same thing. Let's get started from Atlanta. Leading off for the Astros, it's Joe Morgan. 2-8 is ball 4. Double-A stealer. He's going to try a stolen base. They're going to stay aggressive off Earl Williams. Rolls a 3. T rating 1-6. Rolls a 5 and gets it as well. So another advantage. The Astros can fly, and Earl Williams is a +1 arm catcher. So you're seeing all the little facets of the Astro attack that has them up 2-0 in this series. A stolen base and a ball thrown in the center field, and Joe Morgan is at third. Dennis Menke, 47 off of Negro, single 1-16, but he rolls an 18. And sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and Negro seems to have it this year, and that's not an RBI single. Bob Watson, 2-7, this is an RBI single. Let's take a look at Bob Watson's 1973 card. Something just kind of clicked with his Astros team when Watson was put in the 3 spot of the lineup, and Cedeno and Jim Wynn, speedy guys, were actually pushed into the middle of the lineup, so Watson could bat third. But as soon as Watson was put in the 3 hole, this Astro team is taken off. It's a single, and the Astros get a 1-0 lead. Jose Cruz, 1-7. Let's take a look at the Cruz card, folks. Homer, 1-15 double. That is gone. Jose Cruz, he was a Cardinal in 71 with a 292 at bats and a 274 average. 2-run homer here, and the Atlanta fans who watched their team on TV in Houston, fearing the worst, well, the worst has occurred. Negro's already given up 3 runs. Arguably shouldn't have any outs, really. Menke got unlucky with that out. It'll be Cedeno. 1-3, flies to the right. And Jim wins, 63. Bounce to second. Mian's at 2-18, makes the play. So, just a 3-0 advantage for Houston. And these Atlanta Braves should be putting up crooked number runs. And if they don't, they deserve to lose. They can't put up crooked number runs. Ralph Garr, 6-11, bounces to short. You got Roger Metzger, 1-14. Again, a very important part of this Houston team is their defense, as well as their on base and speed. Dusty Baker, 57's a K. Rico Cardi, a little quiet down there in Houston, 54, catcher's card. This is Johnny Edwards, a 40-13, not very good defensively, and that'll make the play. Top of 2, here is Johnny Edwards. 1-5 is a base hit. Roger Metzger, 56, flies to right. Tom McCraw, 64, bounces to short X. Maury Wills, a 3-19 at short, and it's a ground ball B. Fielder's choice. Tom McCraw's a B stealer. Don't like to steal in front of Joe Morgan because he walks so much. Pitch to Morgan. 1-7, let's take a look at the card, folks. Joe Morgan's 1970 card. We'll have a couple more, at least one more year with Houston. And yeah, the Reds are constantly badgering the Astros on the telephone saying, trade us this dude. And the Astros are saying, hey, we're going to let it happen the way it happened. We're not going to let you get your guy this soon. Homer, 1-3, fly ball the rest, and when we look up at the board, he rolls a 2. Joe Morgan, oh my goodness, that is a 2-run blast on a homer, 1-3. Negro can't believe it. That's an Atlanta home run in the little ballpark, and we got a 5-0 game here. And this monstrous Houston team keeps putting it on. Dennis Menke, 2-11, grounds to short. They keep putting it on to a 5-0. They've scored 21 runs in the last 11 innings. My goodness. Bottom of the second. Before he can even take a swing today, your National League MVP, Hank Aaron, sees his beloved Braves down 5-0. Here's Hank, 2-11, grounds to short. National League MVP. Darrell Evans, 37, double 1-6 fly ball, gets a double. Earl Williams, 1-7. Let's take a look at the Earl Williams card. Yeah, 33 home runs, most of those against right-handed pitching in 1971. That is gone, and here come your Braves. You're going to have to do it with slugging and power. 5-2. Gail Hopkins, 64, center, and with 2 outs. Felix putting me on, 4-11, bouncer to first. This is McCraw in there for his glove at 2-22. He makes an error. The inning's extended. Maury Wills can get on and get this to the top. Could be trouble for the Stros. Maury Wills, 37. He does get a base hit to right field. Mian is not going to get thrown out at third against the Cruz arm. So it's going to be Ralph Garr, the tie run. In a 5-2 game with 2 men on. Here is Ralph Garr, the pitch. 48 off force is a base hit in right field. Now you might want to try and score a run here for Mian. Great base runner. He is a 16, 17, 18 against the Cruz armor -2, makes it 1-16. He rolls a 1 and scores. Wills ends up at third, guard first. Plenty of speed on the bases still for the Braves in a 5-3 game with 2 outs. And Dusty Baker is the hitter. 54 off Ken Forsch is a catcher's card. You can get another run here off the bad defensive catcher. And it's an error because he's an E13 catcher, is he not? Yes, he's an E13 catcher. Catcher 2, E rating of 13 is an error. We didn't get the pass ball foul out. We got an actual error. And another run scores. First and second, 2 outs. And it's Rico Cardi. Chance to get an RBI single to tie this game. The pitch to Rico, 69, there it is, base hit in center field. Ralph Garr to tie the game against Cedeno's -3 arm. Garr, 17, 18, 19, -3 is 16. He scores it on a 15, and Atlanta's going nuts. We do have a ball game, folks. I told you, whoever wins this series, the Braves ripping off 3 straight wins, or the Astros staying hot They're going to be a handful. So you got runners on the corners. Baker goes to third on the throw. And it's only Hank Aaron, who started this inning down 5-0. And now he's at the plate and we're tied. Much better feeling for Hank here. Chance to give his team the lead. The pitch to Hank Aaron. 37 is ball 4. Loading the bases, folks. And Ken Forsh's time in the mound today could be coming to an end soon. It's going to be Darrell Evans. The pitch to Darrell Evans. 48 off of Forsh is a base hit in the right field. Baker scores. Carty is a slow runner, so he will not run from second, unfortunately. Braves take the lead, and Earl Williams looking to get 2 homers and 6 RBIs in an inning. One more base runner, I'm yanking Forsh as broken. I should have done it already, but we're going to give him a break here because it's a playoff game and we have small pitching staffs. So here it is. Earl Williams, bases loaded, 2 outs with a 6-5 Atlanta lead. Here's the pitch. 45 is a roller to second base. So, what an inning for the Braves. What a wild contest early on. It is 6-5 Atlanta. So, what's Houston's response? I don't think they care too much. They're going to continue doing Houston things. Bob Watson, 63, second X. Beyond's a 2E18, makes the play. Jose Cruz, 57, is a K. And with 2 outs, Cedeno. 2-5, grounds are short. Negro settles down. Atlanta fans are into this thing now. They got a lead, and Negro's pitching well suddenly. 6-5, bottom of the third, Gale Hopkins. 3-11 is a walk. Felix putting me on. 57 is a K. Maury Wills. 49 is a single to left field. One more base runner will do it. First and second for Ralph Carr. 2-6 is a base hit. That'll score a run, and that'll be it. That'll be only 2 1/3 innings. And this is really going to hurt Houston as their bullpen is going to get stretched out here in a Game 3 and probably not be available for Game 4 either, you'd think, or not most of these guys. So, a disaster for Forsh, given a 5-0 lead. Not only does he blow that lead, he forces his bullpen to have to pitch at least 5 2/3 innings, which ruins their chances in Game 4 as well. They might have to wait till Larry Durker pitches in Game 5. Disaster. So here we go. We'll go with Denny LeMaster. He's the next pitcher, the long man. He used to be a starter, did Denny. Then he had some tough times. Was still decent in the bullpen in 71. Could get righties out at least. So here he comes in the 3rd inning. We have runners on the corners with 1 out. And it'll be Dusty Baker. Runner being held on is Ralph Carr. Pitch to Dusty Baker. 63 off LeMaster is second X. This is Morgan, a 3E20 at second base. So ground ball C. So a runner from third scores, and the runner moves up to second. 8-5. And it's Rico Carty. 57 for Carty is a K. So 3 in the books, but the Braves have an 8-5 lead. Should be enough, you would think, for Phil Negro. Even giving up 5 runs and they've given them up early. This guy's can go 9. It's Negro. He's a starter 8, but he can't go 10. But he can go 9. And in a must-win game, you have a feeling that you're going to have to get up double digits off of Negro to get him out of there. Jim Wynn in the 4th. 34 rolls to short. John Edwards, 1-9's a walk. Roger Metzger, 3-6, single to left field. Here we go again. 2 on, 1 out for Tom McCraw. 2-6 is a ground ball B+, fielder's choice. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for Joe Morgan. He's been on twice. 46 hits the card to Negro. Double 1-5, single ... is a single ... That will score Mr. Edwards. Mr. McGraw's at third, and Morgan's at first. Speed in both spots, and an 8-6 game for Dennis Menke. Here's the pitch to Dennis. 58, skies to right field. Let's look at the batters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, I mean, they've got a lot of runs. They don't have a lot of base runners, so we're not going to consider him to be broken in the 4th inning. Bottom of the fourth, in an 8-6 game, it'll be Hank Aaron leading off. 66 off of LeMaster lines the first. Darrell Evans, 4-4 off the LeMaster card is a double. Earl Williams, 3-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, Gale Hopkins, we'll get him out of there. Don't need him. And Hank Aaron is a rangy 2 at first base. He'll come in for him to play first. Tommy Aaron. The pitch to Tommy. 2-6. Let's take a look at Tommy Aaron's card, folks. 63 at-bats and 2 pinch hit home runs in 1970, and this is the card you get. 2-6 homer, 1-3 double. It's a 2-base hit, and Tommy Aaron gives the Braves their 9th run, 9-6. Must be blowing out today. And it's Felix Millan. 2-8 is single dot off Millan, and there come the Braves, increasing their lead to 10-6. Maury Wills, 49, second X. Morgan's a 320. That's going to be a single off of Morgan. First and second. 2 outs in a 10-6 game, and it's Ralph Garr. 2-4, grounds to short. Well, Atlanta. My goodness, folks. 10-6. Denny LeMaster's a relief 4, so he can go a little bit longer, eat up some innings here. 10-6 game in the 5th. It'll be Bob Watson. 57's a K. Jose Cruz, 1-3, grounds to first. And Cesar Cedeno, 49, bounced to second base. This is Millan, a 2 at second base. He makes the play, and it's 10-6 going into the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, bottom of the 5th. Atlanta must-win situation. They got their pitcher on the mound. They got a 4-run lead. But you don't know what you're going to get out of these Astros. They might have another rally in them. So bottom of the 5th, it'll be Dusty Baker, 47, off of LeMaster, his single, 1-15 as a base hit. The Braves were embarrassed 16-3 in Game 2. You don't think they had some chatter on the flight from Houston about what they would do when they get in their own ballpark. Rico Carty, 4-4 off LeMaster. It is gone. And oh boy, folks, this is getting testy as he takes a long, slow trot around the bases. Johnny Edwards, the catcher, didn't appreciate that. He had some words with Carty at the plate, folks. 12-6. Suddenly, we got a rivalry in the National League. Astros Braves don't seem to like each other too much. 12-6 game, and now the Astros just are trying to figure out how can we get another 12 outs and get to Game 4. Hank Aaron, 110, bounces to short. Darrell Evans, 2-9 as a K. And Earl Williams, 47, single 1-15, lines out on an 18. Mercy. And we'll hook Mr. LeMaster after 2 2/3. Give some other pitchers a chance in a 12-6 game. Top of the 6th, it's Jim Wynn. 2-2, lines the 3rd. John Edwards, 56, skies to right. And Metzger, 56, skies to right field. All right, we will turn to Jim Ray in the 6th inning. Now you have an idea that the Astro bullpen isn't that bad. LeMaster will probably not be available in a Game 4, but the rest of the guys, if they just pitch an inning, the 6th, 7th, and 8th, they'll be fine to come back. So Jim Ray comes on in the 6th inning. He was the closer last year, and in good fortune, he's moved up to setup guy this year with a 2.11 ERA in 98 innings in 71 with the Astros. Jim Ray, bottom of the 6th. We Tommy Aaron, 67's a K. Felix Millan, 49 is a walk. Maury Wills, 38 is a 6-4-3 double play. Atlanta did not try to steal bases in that situation. Not trying to piss off the Astros even more. And here we go into the 7th. Tommy McCraw, 35, flies to right. Joe Morgan, 63, pitcher X. He grows an E20. Oh, but he boots that ball. Oh boy. Dennis Menke, 1-6. Let's take a look at the Dennis Menke card. How do you not love this guy, folks? What a fun trooper he is. Could play short, or second, or third, or first. And then gets on base both ways, has power. Fun player, versatile player, bats all over the lineup. Great dude for this team. 1-6 against a righty. Triple 1-4, single dot. That's a single dot. Runners on the corners for Bob Watson. 58 is a sac fly. And with 2 outs, Jose Cruz, 47 is a single. 2 on, 2 outs, Cedeno. 2-6 is a base hit to right field. Menke would have to take on the arm of Aaron, and he cannot. They're going to leave him loaded for Jim Wynn to see if he can make this a 1-run game with a grand slam off Negro in the 7th, who's a starter 8, who we say he's not broken because he's Negro and throws a knuckleball. So here we go, the pitch to Jim Wynn. 111 flies to right field. And Negro, sighs in relief. Stretch time here in Hotlanta. We have been listening to The Fat Man in the Bathtub, in this case the Dixie Chicken LP of 1973 for Little Feat. Fat Man in the Bathtub, Roll 'em Easy, great LP from Little Feat, the Dixie Chicken LP, 1973, firmly in the timeline here. Bottom of the 7th, so Jim Ray will leave after just the 1 frame so he can be fresh for Game 4 if needed. They will go to Ron Cook in the 7th. Ralph Garr leading off. 1-5, homer 1-2, fly ball, misses it, flies out. Dusty Baker 1-5, skies the left. Enrico Cardi 39 is a walk. Hank Aaron, kind of quiet today, didn't nearly need him as part of this onslaught. Hank Aaron 67 is a base hit. 2 on, 2 outs for Darrell Evans, 3/10s a K. All right, Negro, and most times you'd think, oh, you take your pitcher out with a 5-run lead. Not this Hotlanta team. They are terrified of their bullpen. And they usually only use their guys in the bullpen and when Negro's not pitching. So here we go. Johnny Edwards against Negro in the 8th. 1-6 is a base hit. Roger Metzger. 2-7 triple, 1-17 is a triple and an RBI. And yeah, Negro can break now. If he puts a base runner on in a 12-8 game, Houston does not say die. They do not give up. It's Tom McCraw. 1-7 is a K. Now we have Joe Morgan, who has been on every time today. A walk, a homer, single, and a reaching on an error. Runner at third, 1 out. They will play back and give up the 9th run if needed. 1-7. Homer 1-3. We saw the card earlier, folks. And oh my, it's Joe Morgan's world in his Houston. I want to say it's his Houston swan song, but no, he's not going to be. He's coming back next year for the Astros. Homer 1-3, fly ball on his own card, and look what he does again. He hit it in the 2nd inning. He hits it again here, and it is a 12-10 game, and the Astros have other ideas. They're saying, no, we still want to sweep these clowns. 12-10, Negro's broken. And Atlanta needs a new strategy, and the new strategy is, well, you went out in the offseason and you got Mo Drabowski to be your closer, and that's your strategy, and he has to finish this game, win, lose, or draw. You either advance to Game 4, or your season's over as this guy is going to blow the game. Mo Drabowski comes on in the 8th inning for the Braves. He was 5-4 with a 352 in 1970 for an Orioles team that won the World Series. Susceptible to the long ball against the lefties, as you can see. Good against righties. 5 outs to get in a 12-10 game as Phil Negro could not stick around till the end. Unbelievable. So, Mo Drabowski in the 8th inning. There is 1 out. Bases are empty. Dennis Menke is your batter. Pitch to Dennis. 69 is a bouncer to second. This is Mian at 2-18. He makes the play. And with 2 outs, it is Bob Watson. 2-10 is a single, and I'm going to say it, folks. The tie run is at the plate. Yes, for the first time in a long time for Houston. Jose Cruz, a left-handed batter, is the tie run At the plate in the 8th inning, with Watson at first, the pitch to Jose Cruz. 48. Drabowski gets him the sky to deep, deep center field, we believe, for the final out of the inning. It is 12-10. And now, for Houston, they actually will go to their closer in the 8th inning. And actually, that kind of makes sense for the first time because keeps it close. Astros tie or take a lead in the 9th, and you have Eddie Watt to close the series out and try and get a sweep in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So it'll be Earl Williams against Eddie Watt. A couple of former Baltimore relievers are pitching today. Earl Williams, 5'10" off Watt, is catcher's card. Johnny Edwards again, a 4E13, had a big error earlier in this game. Makes the play this time. Tommy Aaron, 57, is a K. And in the Felix Mian with 2 outs. 66, single one at 8, rolls a 9. And lines out. That's ominous for the Braves. Misses the single by 1 roll. And now we go to the 9th, and it's just 12-10. In Atlanta, do you have anything else you can do here? Any defense? Any sort of good rabbit's foot, good luck charms you need? You only have a 2-run lead, and you don't have a lot of confidence in anything right now after only putting up 14 runs or 12 runs in these middle innings and nothing since. 12-10, you have Cedeno, the Toy Cannon Jim Wynn. You have some pinch hitters on the bench if needed. Doug Rader and Dave Duncan could come in. Here we go to the 9th inning. 12-10 game. It'll be Cedeno leading off. 1-7, triple 1-7. Double is a triple to lead off the 9th inning. Now, that run doesn't matter too much. They don't carry us at third base. It's everything after him that matters. And here is Jim Wynn, the tie run in the top of the 9th. Let's take a look at the Jim Wynn card of 1970. And now you're seeing that these Astros are one of the top teams in all of baseball in this carryover league. They have guys who can fly, get on base, hit for power, have good defense. And the top 6 guys can all do that. Bottom 3 guys, not so much. But Jim Wynn, they're going to play back with a 2-run lead. The pitch to Jim Wynn. 46 is a strikeout. And now this is where Atlanta has to make their hay. They got to get out of this without going back up top. You don't want to see Joe Morgan in this game again. He's already gotten lucky with a couple of 2-run homers that should have been outs. You don't want to see Joe Morgan. You want to get 2 of the next 3 batters out. And that's going to be Edwards, Metzger, and McGraw with possible pinch hitter. Edwards, the catcher, let's take a look at John Edwards. He will bat. As you can see, he has walks. A walk in 3-5. And he had 50 walks and 330 at-bats. So, yeah, this whole team gets on base. The pitch to John Edwards. 48 is a sky to center field. And with 2 outs, that'll be a sac fly sky to center field. So it's a 12-11 game now with Roger Metzger. Let's take a look at Roger. No threat to win the game with a home run, unless he hits a 3-5 homer 1-2, as if that hasn't been done enough today already. But here we go. Roger Metzger with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. 66 off of Drabowski. Homer 1-4. Fly ball to rest, and it would have been a homer had he had power, because he hits it again. A 1-4 shot homer. Now, the Astros may regret they didn't have a left-handed hitter with power batting, but they don't have a left-handed hitter with power. They've got 3 righties on the bench. So 6-4 off of Drabowski. That was the player. For Mo Drabowski, that was the player to throw the the meatball to. And it's only a single. Now the lead run is Tom McCraw, who does have power. Let's take a look at Tom McCraw's card. Not much homer chance on his own card. Not much of anything on his home card, really. McCraw hit 220 for the 70 Chi Sox. But if he rolls that 6 column against Drabowski, he could become a folk hero for the Houston Astros. Metzger at first. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Do you try Steele Metzger here as a C stealer against a +1 arm catcher? No, I think you'd go for that 2-run homer off Drabowski's card. The pitch to Tom McCraw. 33 is a pop to first base, and hearts all around Atlanta and stomachs all around Atlanta can finally relax. They have won a baseball game against these monster Astros. The final score is 12-11. And we'll do the box here. And oh my, folks, what a series this is going to turn into. Mo Drabowski does get a save. Wasn't a clean save by any means. Came on in the 8th. Give up a hit. Give up 1, 2, 3 hits, a run, and a K. But he had inning and 2/3 to sprinkle all that around. Negro gets a win. 7 1/3 innings. He only gave up 12 hits and 10 runs. But you have, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 were earned. Ugh. Only walked 2 guys, did Negro, with 3 strikeouts. Ed Watt in the 8th, 3 up and 3 down with a strikeout. Ron Cook hit a walk and a K. Jim Ray, a walk and a K. So, most of the Houston bullpen is available. It's Denny LeMaster will probably have to rest and not appear in Game 4. Which is probably be good news for Houston if he doesn't appear in Game 4. He came on in. He got the couple outs in the 3rd with a strikeout. And then in the 4th and 5th innings, it was, yeah, pretty ugly again. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 2 runs and a K. And then 2 hits, 2 runs and a K in that inning. And everything else was Ken Forsch, who gave up, oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And he gave up 8 runs. And fortunately, there was an error in there somewhere. Yeah. So only 2 in the 2nd were earned. And 3 in the 3rd. So 5 are earned. 2 walks. 2 strikeouts. 1019, 0108. 12-15, 11-15. Again, the teams match hits. Just like they did in Game 2. 12-15. The teams have 29 hits apiece in 2 games. 58 hits altogether. Wow. 1019, 0108, 12-15, 11-15, 2-4-4-8. And that is Game 3 of what's turning into a classic series. 2 teams that do not want to quit, do not want to give up on this season yet, quite yet. Look at the year-to-date numbers for both teams. You got to walk through the fire, folks, in baseball. You have to deal with your trials and tribulations. And there's been lots of bad news for these squads this year, and they've risen above it, and here they are, fighting for their lives. Whereas the Mets and Reds are very comfortable relaxing, watching this stuff on TV. The Braves are 23-21. That's not a great record, of course, hitting .294 with a .466 ERA. That ERA is not the type of ERA to get you to a World Series trophy, normally. But anything could happen, of course, in this league. Negro is 7-6. And now let's look at his ERA after taking that battering. Whoops. 389, you know, after getting lit up in a game. So you know he's pitched very good, whereas all the other starters are struggling. George Stone is the Game 4 starter. He's having a nice year as well. He's probably the second best pitcher they trust. 3.25 ERA for George Stone, and he will pitch Game 4 in Atlanta. So that's good news for the Braves. Now, Mo Drabowski does have 9 saves, but he's given up 11 runs in 18 innings. So a lot of times he's brought in the 9th inning with a 3 or 4 run lead, as you can tell. Hank Aaron is still at 24 home runs and 51 RBIs as your National League MVP. Came back from that injury in Game 1 to deliver in Games 2 and 3 for his team. Rico Cardi, 11 homer and 36 RBI. Yeah, this team just bashes. They just bash. Let's take a look at Houston. It's actually a rare loss. I mean, this team was like 3-8 at one point, and they really were awful. And then they just took off. They're only hitting .252 as a team, so they're doing it with walks, folks. 3.36 team ERA. In the bullpen, it's been okay. They don't have. It's a bullpen by committee. You got Jim Ray, Ron Cook, and Eddie White all have saves. Larry Dierker, 10-3. Great year for Larry. After a very slow start, he has a 2.89 ERA and 10 wins. So, if he had a better start in the beginning of this year, he would have been in the Cy Young conversation. But Don Sutton locked up that award early and often for the National League. Not a lot of homers for this team. Jim Wynn has 7 and 21 RBIs. It's really a community effort. As in looking at double digits, RBIs, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 guys in double digits in RBIs. That's fantastic. Cedeno's got 11 doubles, you don't hear that category, and 4 triples with just 2 home runs. You get a lot of double-digit walks on this team. You know, you got 18 stolen bases for Morgan and 10 for Cedeno. You got 188 runs scored, 158 runs given up. So you see that Houston really has more of a complete team. But in this series, the home team has won every game, and we need a road win is a sign of excellence. So can the Astros win a Game 4 in Houston, or do they rely on hoping Larry Dierker can repeat his past performance and win it in Houston in Game 5? That's what we will consider. We'll give you the results at the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in to the National League Wildcard game, living up to its name. We'll see you next time. Well, baseball fans, what a classic series it was and played out absolutely that way. This is the box of Game 3 you just saw, the Braves winning 12-11. So, Game 4 in Atlanta. It will be another pitching advantage for the Braves, as it'll be Jim Merritt, a left-handed 20-game winner in 1970 for the Cincinnati Reds, who the Reds said, he's not good enough. Wow. They figured that they needed better pitching than just one loss record. Astros said, we'll take him. Against George Stone, having a great year with his 73 card. By the way, Stone was a Brave in the early 70s. Went to the Mets in 73, had a masterful year. However, the Mets just can't keep another lefty on their team. They have Kuzman, Matlack, and McGraw. Gonna have 3. Stone stayed in Atlanta, and this game was a beautiful baseball game, folks. Jim Merritt proves everybody wrong. He gets the first 9 batters out. Then in the 4th inning, Mian gets a double, and Dusty Baker gets a 2-run homer on his own card. Braves take a 2-0 lead. Stone is pitching well. He's been pitching well all year. But in the 6th inning, Cesar Cedeno gets him for a solo shot. It's 2-1. And we're thinking, is this where a road team steps up and gets a road win? I've always said road wins are very important. It really shows you how good a baseball team is. But frankly, folks, Houston and Atlanta are just 2 great baseball teams. So it doesn't matter that much. These are gutsy, tough teams playing to the whistle, playing to the final out. Merritt would go 7 1/3. Finally pulled in the 8th inning. And unfortunately, Jim Ray did an okay job, but you get the pass ball foul out, unearned run, and the Braves get a 3rd run in this game. So it sets up George Stone for an interesting scenario here. Again, they don't like their bullpen. You saw Drabowski in Game 3. He barely got a save. But in the 9th inning, Stone walks a couple batters. So they turn to Mo Drabowski to face Bob Watson, and he gets him the pop out. But then Doug Rader is the scheduled hitter as a right-handed batter, and we know how bad Drabowski is against lefties. So Joe Morgan, who sat this start against the lefty Stone, comes in as a pinch hitter, and the Braves gulp, take a deep breath, and go, we gotta go to our lefty setup guy, Mike McQueen, who I believe was 19 years old in 1970, a very young kid, promoted to the big leagues at a very young age. But he's been terrible against righties, good against lefties. There's no more righties on the Houston bench. He gets Joe Morgan out to end this game. So it turned, doing things you're uncomfortable with and attempting to win a game. The Braves did that. They pulled Stone when they didn't want to pull Stone. They said Drabowski they didn't like the matchup with Drabowski against Joe Morgan, so they brought in Mike McQueen. And so, the Astros had an answer on the bench, just didn't work out. Jim Merritt overachieved. I mean, this is just a classic chess match between these two squads. And we have 2 wins apiece going into a Game 5 in Houston. And again, another classic is on the way. This is like a baby World Series, folks. These Astros and Braves, it's a shame one of these teams is going to lose in Game 5. Let's see who does. This is going back to a hitting streak, a hitting game. Rico Carty, solo homer to start the game. But in the bottom half, the Astros do what they do. We have Earl Williams with a +1 throwing arm. So Morgan steals second. Cesar Cedeno would steal second. Jim Wynn would steal second. A walk, double, 3 singles. It's 4-1. Remember that game, Houston had a 5-0 lead and the Braves came all the way back, right? Well, they do the same thing. Earl Williams, a homer in the second inning. It's 4-2. Then in the third, Earl Williams with a couple guys on, a 3-run homer. He's not going to be done either. A 3-run homer, and then Braves do it again. They come back down 4 runs. Great, just great baseball play by, really talented baseball teams here. The Astros say, we're not having any of this. They get an RBI single on the bottom of the 5th. And then here come the Braves on the top of the 6th. It's a seesaw affair, a solo homer by Darrell Evans. Jarvis and Durker are the pitchers today, and they're just forcing the issue and sticking around. They haven't broken. The only way that the Braves have scored to this point is the long ball, which is predictable. Solo homers by Carty and Williams and Darrell Evans, and a 3-run homer by Williams. The Astros had the big first inning, a nice 5th inning. In the 7th, Jarvis, we know he's good against left-handed batters, not so much against right-handed batters. But in the 7th inning, he does walk Joe Morgan, who would score in a single by Dennis Menke. With 2 outs, Jose Cruz is the hitter, and Jarvis feels confident he is good against left-handed batters, like I said. But Jose Cruz rolls on his own card, a 1-7, 2-run blast by Jose Cruz off his own card, and the Astros retake the lead by a couple runs. In the 8th inning, now the story is how long can Larry Durker go? We say that they want him to throw complete games, but in the 8th, it's Earl Williams again, folks. His 3rd homer of the game, and it's 8-7. What a thriller. One of the best series of baseball I've ever played. Just so many angles on these strat cards. Advantages on each side. And so now you get Houston in an uncomfortable spot of having to pull Larry Durker 1 out from breaking in the 8th inning. And in a key moment here, Felix Millan is at first as at the tie run. Maury Wills is at the plate. And in a gutsy move, the Braves try a stolen base with Felix Millan, who's a beast stealer, against the 0-run catcher of Dave Duncan, with Maury Wills at the plate, and he gets thrown out. Just a tough break for the Braves, but you'll have Maury Wills leading off in the next inning as a great leadoff hitter. Bottom of the 8th, now what do the Braves do? Jarvis has been getting roughed up. So, the best reliever the Braves have had all year has been Joel Horland, their righty setup guy. So they bring him in the bottom half of the 8th. He gets the first 2 guys out. Then Roger Metzger gets a single. He is a C stealer. And of course, Earl Williams isn't leaving the game. He's hit 3 home runs, so the +1 arm is there. And they do something the Braves were unsuccessful doing, trying a stolen base, and they're successful. The C stealer is safe. The B stealer of the Braves got thrown out. And with 2 outs, Doug Radar gets a bloop single, scoring Metzger, and it's a 9-7 game. Again, just really tightly clever strategic moves all throughout this series. We'll go to the 9th. Jim Ray, who came on for Durker in the 8th, didn't throw to the plate. He was on the mound when Millan got thrown out stealing. So finally starting to pitch in the 9th inning, Jim Ray gets a ground out by Maury Wills. Then predictably, Ralph Garr, of course, because it's the Braves and Astros, of course Ralph Garr is going to get on and set up the tie run in the top of the 9th with Dusty Baker Rico Carty and Hank Aaron. And oh my goodness, folks. Jim Ray is better as a righty against lefties. And the Astros, the last trick they have up their sleeve is Eddie Watt, their closer, who's a righty who can get righties out. And of course, the Braves just turn the cards. There's no strategy at this point. You got Dusty Baker, Rico Carty. Somebody get on base so Hank Aaron, the National League MVP, can bat in the 9th inning of Game 5. Eddie Watt's not having any of it, though, folks. It comes down to a closer on the Astros. He gets Dusty Baker to fly out to center. By the way, Ralph Garr goes to second without a throw since it's a 2-run game, so he's not being held on base. So he's on at second. And Rico Carty, the .366 hitter, homered in this game, 2 for 4. The MVP, Hank Aaron's on the on-deck circle. All he has to do is get a hit or a walk, and Hank Aaron could bat with a chance to win the damn game. But Rico Carty rolls on the Eddie Watt card, a fly ball to center field, and that is how this fantastic series, one of the best series I can recall playing. You throw out Game 2, where Houston won 16-3, and these last 3 series have been 2 teams constantly fighting, scratching, and clawing, coming from behind, retaking a lead, losing a lead, and recovering it, having to figure out late inning matchups, having to try and push their starter as far as they can, trying some gutsy stolen bases if possible, getting plenty of home runs by the Braves, doing what the Braves do, doing what the Astros do. Only one team can go home, can advance. It is the Houston Astros, and somewhere the New York Mets. The world champion New York Mets are going, whew, man, bring on the Dodgers. Because we don't want to play the Astros or the Braves. And the Mets will be playing, we'll look at the rest of this postseason here. Houston wins 3-2. They're 7 over 500. The Braves finished the year 24-22 in just a heart-wrenching loss in Game 5. So Houston will play Cincinnati in the next round, and the Dodgers will play the Mets. Dodgers are 9 over 500, and the Astros are 7 over 500. But that's largely because the Dodgers got some easy wins against Vegas. The Mets would much rather play the Dodgers, and that's because they have some guy named Jerry Grody catching, and he's got a -3 arm, and they're not at all scared of the Dodgers' quote-unquote speed, so forth. Cincinnati Reds will host Joe Morgan and the Houston Astros in the divisional round of the postseason. Folks, this National League, they are head and shoulders over what the American League has left in this season. Thanks for checking it out. Congratulations for the Houston Astros continuing to play on fire in the National League. We'll see you next time.